come off the rub, pass, catch, shoot. I wonder, it'd be interesting to see if they had a choice, how many guys would choose to catch it off the pass, and how many guys would choose to catch the ball take the ball off the rack and shoot it. I've been wondering that for the last 5 years. Would there be a difference?
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I never really thought about it that way. I just,
It's so unnatural to grab a ball off a rack and turn. In the game, you don't do that. In the game, I'm coming off rubs. I'm coming off pin downs. You pass the ball to me, I'm shooting it. I just wonder. Some of these guys, I wonder about Danny Green, or even Steph Curry, those guys are so used to shooting in motion to grab the ball off the rack. I don't know. But at the same time, you can say, if you're going to be in the three-point contest, you got to practice. You don't just show up in Charlotte and say, oh, man, this is my first time shooting from a rack. What do I do? Especially if you're taking it serious. You talk about the AT&T Slam Dunk Contest. You got it's always a chance for you to make a name for yourself. So you have Dennis Smith Jr., who has hops. You have Miles Bridges. You have John Collins. And then you have Diallo from the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are going to be the participants in this year's Slam Dunk Contest. So I'm excited to see how that's going to turn out. John Collins has buku bounce, as does Dennis Smith Jr. I kind of think that's going to be between Collins and Smith Jr.
Hey, don't sleep on Diallo. I remember him early in the season and some of the, him getting up there and making some dunks too. I mean, that guy's got some super hops.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It's going to be exciting. I mean, NBA All-Star Saturday night is always a fun time. Everybody wants to see what's going to happen. Of course, you got the celebrity game on Friday. We'll be watching that as well too, which is also going to be super exciting. We talk about the All-Star selection, of course, with Giannis Antetokounmpo and LeBron James both picking their teams today. I wonder what their strategies are going to be there. That's what I'm curious to see. If they're going to go guard heavy, of course, everyone's going to want to know who LeBron picks first. I just be curious to see that. What will be your strategy in that, I guess?
Well, I will say this. I do know who Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to be picking.
Oh, we got an insider here. Pat Hillman's going Hollywood on me.
No, he actually said it. He actually said it in the other game, I think, against the Wizards at the end of the game. He had actually said it. At the end of the game, he said he was taking Steph Curry with his first pick, is what he said. So, that and Giannis and Steph, right? You can't go wrong with that. I mean, the fact that Steph Curry, and him would be on the same team, that's insane because Steph Curry can throw the lob, Steph Curry can step back and shoot, and Giannis is going to get every rebound. There's nobody. I mean, just watching that game against the Wizards, what did he have? 43 points against us the other night. I mean, it was insane watching him play. So. That's the one thing that I do know, but honestly, I mean, I don't really have a strategy because there's no, you have to pick so many guards or so many forwards or anything like that. I mean, there's just so many good players. I mean, you talk about Blake Griffin, you talk about, Joel Embiid, you talk about, Kemba Walker. I mean, there's so many more. I mean, I can't name them all. I mean, the thing is when you're thinking about the starters, and the starters have to go first. So, of course, you got Kawhi Leonard, Joel Embiid, Kyrie Irving, Kemba Walker, Kevin Durant, Paul George, Steph Curry, and James Harden. You got to choose out of those? I mean, can you really go wrong? I don't think so. I mean, LeBron James got the first pick. Who's he going to take? In my opinion, Kevin Durant. I see him taking Kevin Durant. Then I see Giannis taking Steph Curry. And then from there, LeBron will come around and probably take James Harden. And then, I don't know, Giannis will probably come back and take Kawhi or Joel Embiid or something like that. So I think it's going to be definitely interesting. I mean, we've got just over 20 minutes left until it starts. So I can't wait.
It's on television this year. So thank you NBA for listening to the fans and televising it and making it live. Kind of made me mad last year. We had to just. Here you go, a little graphic on your screen. I wanted to see player reactions, things like that. Yeah, the Twitter's going to be on fire tonight. I'm pretty sure I'll be glued to my phone while watching that live.
I guess here's my question, and maybe I don't know. I didn't really look up on it that much. So they all going to be in a room together, or are they all going to be all across the country? And you just got Giannis and you got LeBron in one room.
Well, the first thing is it can't be live because Bron plays that at 8:00 against the Celtics.
Okay.
Now, if he can pull that off, kudos to him to get it. I mean,
right at halftime.
How long will the draft be? I mean, if he can pull off a draft for an All-Star game and then go ball out, much respect. He needs some goodwill throughout the NBA. But the way I'd imagine it would be is they make their picks. They probably have a camera, obviously, in that locker room of that player to know when they got drafted. That'd be kind of cool. Cameras across the country of players' reactions being on Team Giannis or being on Team Bron. We'll be excited to see. If it's all in one room, how they pull that off, I have no idea, but that'd be awesome. If they're all in the same room,
I know that there's other games going on too, so I don't think necessarily that all the players are going to be in one room, or maybe they will. Maybe, like you said, maybe they did it earlier in the day, and they just, they're just going to, post it tonight or something like that. Either way, I'm interested to see how this layout is going to go and how this changes the All-Star game and how it's played. I'm talking to so many people about who does the best All-Star game for their sport, and it seemed like basketball just wasn't a lot of people's, and I think that's because it's lost its luster in a lot of people's eyes, just because they kind of, it doesn't really mean anything. You talk about baseball, right? You know about baseball, and baseball, it matters. It matters who wins. It gives you an advantage in the World Series. So there's no real advantage, and I think that you look at, I know that football was the lowest one because
the Pro Bowl is garbage.
But it wasn't always like that.
Garbage.
Right, but it wasn't always like that, And
I disagree with that. I think personally the NBA puts on the greatest All-Star game.
And that was honestly, that was my argument to it all. It was like, okay, cool. Y'all do this, but the NBA's got the slam dunk, the 3-point, the skills, the celebrity. I can go on. They do an entire weekend of just all sorts of stuff. It's going to be lit in Charlotte,
bro.
Right. So, and I guess that's just me. I'm a basketball fan. I'm a sports fan at heart, but I'm a basketball fan, I think, more than most when it comes to that kind of stuff. And I always enjoy it. I can't wait till next weekend to actually watch it happen. Friday night, Saturday night, I'm on the TV, I'm watching. I watch it all. Yeah. I didn't watch all the Pro Bowl.
I haven't watched the Pro Bowl in 10 years.
Right. I watch Home Run Derby. I'll give you this. Home Run Derby for baseball is the most exciting, next to what the old dunk contest used to be. The dunk contest lost its luster when they stopped putting top players in the league in there and stuff like that. There's no Levine, there's no Gordon, which they obviously weren't at top players, but they had hops and they did stuff that you've never seen.
I don't count the dunk. I'm not counting the dunk contest out just yet.
I'm not either. I think Dennis Smith Jr. and I think Diallo. I honestly think those will be the two big ones in there that make the most moves. But either way, it's going to be fun to watch the entire thing. Like you said, I like the 3-point contest as well.
Yeah,
I think it's exciting. I like some of the changes that they've made. I like how it is. Cool. The roster doesn't have to be made up of, 2 forwards and the center and this many guards, and then you have to draft, so many other players. And kudos to the NBA too. I kind of was like, I was kind of against it, but now I'm kind of warmed up to it a little bit for adding that extra roster spot for Dwayne Wade and Dirk Nowitzki. 2 guys that have been a pillar in this league for years.
Yeah,
years. Well deserved.
If you're going to start with those 2 guys.
Yeah. Because, when you go back and you think about all the players that were retiring that, didn't make it their final season because their final season they weren't themselves that they used to be up to. But then they talk about Vince Carter, and they're like, Vince Carter is going to... They're talking about Vince Carter retiring.
I was hoping he'd come out and do the dunk contest, but I understand 41
he didn't
the same.
Right, no. That he wasn't going to do it. Not even that, because he can still dunk. But why would you ever do it again and taint what was so awesome the greatest dunk contest?
Ooh, better than Jordan and Neek?
His dunks.
Watch your words, Hillway.
His dunks. I'm not the greatest dunk contest. Excuse me. Some of the greatest dunks. I'll rephrase it. Some of the greatest dunks that to this day people are trying to emulate in the dunk contest, and none of them can do it. That reverse 360, right? Oh my gosh!
Oh, when he put his arm in the rim,
right? You see, right? They're all doing it now. That's something that because everything else has already been done. The other thing is too about the dunk contest. What really can you do other than get some props? Other than come out there like Gordon did, where he had the mascot spinning around with the ball and he jumped up and grabbed it. You got now. It's about the props and it's about the showmanship more than it is about the actual dunks themselves. And I think that's where people are seeing it.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you when it comes to that. Either way, it's going to be a really interesting weekend. Can't wait for it. I'm very excited about it. You know what time it is. Don't think for a second we were going to have a show without allowing our guy to do what he does best, which is give you the little nuggets and little bits of information you may not know, but he knows. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Hill Report.
Man, it's been an exciting day. It's been an exciting week in the NBA. There's so much to talk about. But, man, I got a couple of teams that, we mentioned them a little bit, but I've got the Milwaukee Bucks, the Celtics, and the Thunder, man. These guys have all made moves recently. They're all on hot streaks. They're all either 9-1, or the Thunder, of course, are 8-2. You talk about the Bucks won 5 in a row. The Celtics won 5 in a row. So, definitely some teams that I'm really high on right now. A couple teams that I'm down on. Man, I live here in Washington, but I'm still down on the Wizards. I'm not down on them because of the moves that they made. I'm more down on them because of the play on the court. And and recently they're 4-6 in their last 10. They've lost 3 in a row. They lost to the Hawks. They lost to the Cavs. I mean, we talk about it all year long.
That Hawks loss was so bad.
And then, oh my gosh! And then what did they give up the other day? They gave up 137 or something like that. They gave up 50 points last night to the Bucks in the first half. In the first half or first quarter? First quarter. I'm sorry. I was
Don't give them too much credit.
Right. No, I started. Yeah, first quarter, 50 points. I mean, it was unreal. I mean, you talk about the Wizards. We give up the most points in the league. We're 29th in points per game, allowing 116 points. I went back and looked. It was like every game we give up 100 points. We give up 130 points. We give up 112 points. So, of course, they're one of the teams that we need to make some moves. But, I mean, I'm happy with some of the moves they made. The Grizzlies, yeah, they traded Marc Gasol. Conley's still there. But, still, they're 3-7 in their last 10 games. They're just not doing well in the court. So those are a couple of teams that I'm down on. Man, some players, I had to think about this one a lot because there's just so many players that are doing, everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, but you talk about a guy like Kyle Kuzma. With everything going on with the trade talks about that team, Brandon Ingram's been stepping up. I think I said it last week. Brandon Ingram's been stepping up, whereas Kyle Kuzma, he had 30 on the 19th of January. He had 32 points. Since then, he's averaging 12 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists in his last 5 games. I mean, this is not somebody that anybody's really jumping to get on their team. I mean, they know what he is because they've seen the long run of him, but still a young guy, still can change that around. Andrew Wiggins, I don't really know where I stand with that guy. 1 week he's scoring 40 points.
It's too cool for school, man.
But man, against the Grizzlies, he went 5. This is what drives me insane. Against the Grizzlies, he went 5 for 18 from the field with 12 points and 6 rebounds. Against the Nuggets, 4 for 10 from the field, 10 points and 4 rebounds. 4 for 19 again against the Grizzlies, with 12 points and 5 rebounds. So he's just jacking the ball up, and that's the reason why the T-Wolves are so low in the Western Conference. Now let's talk about some guys that are just lighting the scoreboard up and filling the stats up. I can't say enough right now about Paul George. What he's doing right now in Oklahoma City, I think he's got the second most 30-point games this season. Of course, behind Harden. I mean, we talk about a guy, right? We still talk about a guy in the last 10 games, 34 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals. I mean, clearly he's got to be up there in that MVP talk.
Absolutely.
We got the Thunder.
Absolutely.
I think the Thunder are the 3rd best team in the Western Conference.
Correct.
Game against the Magic, 39, 8, 3, and 3 steals. Lost at the Celtics, 37 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. So he's getting a steal almost every single game. In the Heat, against the Heat, 43 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. At the Magic again, 37, 6, 4, and 3 steals. I mean, he's out there, he's getting steals, he's filling it up. Now let's go to his teammate. I usually don't talk about 2 teams or 2 players on the same team, but when you talk about Westbrook, we have 7 straight triple doubles for Russell Westbrook. He's done that once before.
I didn't know that.
He's done that once before. He's actually tied with Michael Jordan right now for the longest streak of triple doubles. You talk about a guy that's averaging 26 points, 12 rebounds, 13 assists over his last 10 games. What did he have? He had 16 points, 15 rebounds, 16 assists in a win against the Magic, and a steal. In a loss against the Celtics, he had 22 points, 12 rebounds, 16 assists. The Heat, 14 points, 12 rebounds, 14 assists. Magic again, 27 points, 14 rebounds, and 14 assists. I mean,
I thought he was a ball hog. Or his assists.
Well, I think he slowed his game down. I've heard a few analysts say he slowed his game down, and I think he's out of all the players when they come on to another team with an all-star. You talk about what Bosh and Wade had to do when LeBron came there, and how both their stats lowered. I mean, Dwayne Wade, I don't think so much, but Bosh really had to take a step back. And I think Westbrook realized, hey, if I take a step back and I let him kind of do his thing, and I still am getting triple doubles, I'm not averaging 30 points a game, but averaging a triple double for 7 straight games, and your team goes on a roll like that, I think that's big. And then, of course, I can't end the report, of course, without James Harden, man. What is this guy doing? 28 straight 30-point plus games.
God.
Out of those 28, 13 are on the road. It's just unheard of what he's doing. I mean, the last 10 games, 41 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks, and 3 steals. Now, he's not just putting up points. I